Videos that are going to make you question everything. Let's just start.
I need side chicks.
Guys, I need sick.
Side chicks.
Side chick.
This looks
I don't
so
need the main
scary and
girlfriend.
funny at the same time.
I not I mean the girlfriend.
I need
What's
the main
happening to his
girlfriend.
teeth?
I need the main the
The
girlfriend.
lower one.
And I need side chicks.
I need side
Eyes
chick.
and the skin.
I've learned that drinking can shrink the brain. Like literally shrink the brain. Just one drink can expose you to 7 different cancers. Smoking weed really does cause memory loss. Puts you at risk of getting Alzheimer's. While yes, other people are great when they smoke. Majority of people are slow when they smoke. It's shown in studies that it does slow down the brain.
Avoid eating chicken right now, especially in America. On top of whatever they're doing to the chicken isn't even very mineral or amino dense in comparison to beef. But right now, you need to be eating the animals with a split hoof that chew the cud, because beef is the most amino, mineral, copper dense food on the planet. Don't eat the chickens unless you're raising them on your own. And remember that organic doesn't mean anything. Organic just means that it's probably a little bit cleaner than the non-organic product that's available right next to it. But it doesn't mean that it's actually organic. Here are the recommendations you need to start looking for. Pasture raised, grass fed, and is it grass finished? If it don't meet those 3 requirements, then why are you getting organic if it's not, meeting those 3 requirements? Remember, they're mixing iron into clay right now. And if you eat the king's meat, aka the food that is disgusting, because they put crap into the food, they altered it. This is the story of Daniel right now. Your family equals Daniel, America equals Babylon. And it's your job to make sure that your family, that them boys, Shadrach, Meshach, gotta make sure that your family's eating not from the king's table, but from the king's table. And that's why we're told what to eat and how to eat. Because right now, these cows are going to be some of the best foods that you can be eating. Because they have those multiple stomach chambers, they're able to digest the garbage and the toxins in the environment right now better than pretty much any other animal that's been domesticated. So it's also why we made y'all the biblical meal guide. And it's also why we made y'all the health Bible, available at jacobslink.
America cannot have a war with Iran, by the way. It would lead to a regional war. It would be costly, bloody, threatening. And on January 17th of this year, Iran signed a security agreement with Russia. So it would just open up another front of potential nuclear war. President Trump's smart. He's trying to avoid this. Everyone's shouting at him, don't avoid it, go to war. And for the president to prevail, he has all the authority he needs. But this noise is incessant, and the arrogance of a Lindsey Graham or the American Congress that thinks we can do whatever we want, wherever we want, and win whenever we want, when everything has been trillions of dollars of cost and one disaster after another, that arrogance actually continues until today. It's not fear, it's arrogance that's the fundamental driver.
In the face of, they haven't won a war in 80 years, so the U.S. military has not won a war in 80 years. So I'm not attacking anyone. I say that with sadness, but I don't understand on what basis this optimism arises.
The optimism is misplaced, let us say, because these people have gotten us into one debacle after another. And if, when Lindsey, I'm going to pick on Lindsey Graham again because he's been the biggest warmonger in the Senate, if when he speaks, if there were little logos on the screen, Iraq war supporter, if people understood, okay, this guy's told you the wrong thing 5 wars in a row, then we let him speak and let everyone understand this guy gets it wrong every single time. And that's true of most of these warmongers. But I think,
You need to see this shit.
Crazy.
Once you realize how sick and demonic these people are that control the shows that your kids are watching, you'll want to protect your kids a little bit more. So this Nickelodeon green slime thing just creeped me out. So allegedly, Nickelodeon made that slime green for a reason. And not a good reason either. So if you know about Nickelodeon, you know they had a habit of shooting green slime on their guests. Some guests were adults, but most of the guests were kids. Matter of fact, look at this shit. Look at this shit right here. This is what they had a habit of doing. And once you figure out why they did this, it's even more sinister than you could believe. So people were saying that the reason they use the color green is because you can use that color green like you use a green screen. And I know you're saying to yourself, so what does that mean? It means you can change that form of liquid to any form of liquid. You get what I'm saying? And you know there's so many sick people in the world that do a lot of strange shit that they're not supposed to be doing. And now that I jumped down that rabbit hole, it makes even more sense to me. When you're editing with a green screen, you can replace whatever is in the green with anything that you want. And these sick, demented, demonic people replace those things with things that don't supposed to be there on kids. You get what I'm saying? And I say allegedly. Allegedly. If this is true, Nickelodeon might need to be held accountable immediately.
Yeah, definitely never drink a Monster again.
Why does it look green?
Ever.
Okay, under you light, maybe. Yeah.
Shit's fluorescent. Yo.
This is one of the most common scams you're gonna find in Paris, the clear cup scam. Watch as this man almost knocks it over. You see that? It's a clear cup filled with coins, just a couple to help it weigh down, and they place it very far out in high traffic areas on sidewalks, knowing that people will probably knock it over like this guy did. Now you might be watching this thinking, Amanda, where's the scam? It's a homeless person begging for money, like have some heart. And I get where you're coming from, but that's not the case. These guys are out here every single day, and when the police see them, they will take away their cups and their stuff and tell them to get out of here because they know what they're doing is dishonest and a scam. They purposely use clear cups because you're not going to see it with just a couple coins, and they put it very, very far out where people are going to knock it over. What they're banking on is you knock it over and you go, oh my God, I just knocked over a homeless person's cup. I'm such a jerk. I'm going to give them money. That's the tame version of this scam. The not tame version of this is when you knock it over and you just keep walking, or you help pick it up but you don't give money. They'll start yelling at you. It's typically a boy who does this. They always do it in my neighborhood, so I see him all the time. He'll start yelling at you and say, you knocked over my cup, you have to give me money. They'll start yelling at you, getting loud at you. I got a DM from a girl today who told me that she knocked over the cup and the boy was there and he spat at her. He started following her and he spat at her. The police are aware of it, as I said, but they're out here every day. It's typically by the Louvre, Rue de Rivoli, or Rue Saint-Honoré, basically anywhere in the first, but I've also seen it up by Opera. The reason I'm telling you this is if you're here in Paris and you happen to knock over the cup, don't feel obligated to give money unless you want to, and if they start getting loud with you, just keep walking.
With all the crazy things happening in 2025, did you have a megalodon on your bingo card? What's a megalodon? According to Wikipedia, a megalodon is the largest shark to ever exist, living from 23 to 3.6 million years ago.
Okay.
They can grow up to an average of 67 feet.
That's so big.
Why do I bring this up? Because there's a viral video of a megalodon that washed ashore off of Australia's east coast. You heard me. A viral video of a megalodon shark that washed ashore on Australia's east coast. You don't believe me? Take a look at this. Now, according to the story that was posted with the video, it is 60 feet long. Now, I know these things lived years ago and they are allegedly extinct. Could that video be AI, or could it be the real thing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
So you guys, I went to McDonald's, right?
Okay.
Our chicken ain't real no more, y'all. Why is this chicken bending like a damn bird band? Like, ain't this supposed to like break? What's going on here? Our chicken ain't real, bro. What?
Pull it apart.
Bro, this shit is tough. This chicken ain't real. And I'm gonna indulge in it. Y'all see that? Oh, that's crazy. Oh, this shit crazy. I don't even think I want to eat this. Don't go to McDonald's. Don't get this.
Oh, that if I'm the president, we will attack Iran. Whatever stage of development they might be in their nuclear weapons program in the next 10 years, during which they might foolishly consider launching an attack on Israel, we would be able to totally obliterate them. That's a terrible thing to say, but those people who run Iran need to understand that.
The downfall of 80% of men is always going to be women. If you look at all the successful men, how did they end up losing majority of their wealth? Women. How did Samson in the Bible even die? It's because he let a woman connive him. It's because he let a woman lead the Philistines to him and then they cut his hair. Look at Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world. Who's the richest woman in the world? His wife, because she divorced him and got half of everything that he got.
Have y'all seen the video of this girl? She's like brand new to the army. And she's like, I just wanted to show you what the army feeds us. And she opens up this box and it's got steak and lobster and desserts. A full to-go box full of extravagant food. She's like, wow, the army's not that bad. And the comments are like, oh no, we're cooked. They said, baby, you're about to deploy. And she's like, what? What do you mean? Baby, the army is not giving you steak and lobster on a random weekday. I'm talking about some, wow, why don't I join sooner? They treat us so well, steak and lobster, y'all should join. Baby, there's a war behind you. You about to go, you about to be sent off. And she's replying to all the comments, she's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? What do you mean? Somebody was like, baby, I am a civilian and I know that's not good. She over there just chowing down, so delicious, so delicious. I know for a fact, an hour later, she opens up TikTok to have this thing flooded with comments. She went from peacefully enjoying steak and lobster for lunch to pissing herself.
The war in Iraq was really over control of the stargates in those areas. Area 51 scientist whistleblower Dan Burish revealed that there are a number of naturally occurring wormholes on the planet, including in Egypt and Iraq, and that they can be activated electromagnetically. He claims that Saddam Hussein had 2 pieces of this stargate technology, which is said to be derived from ancient Sumerian cylinder seals, which were later stored in Iraq. This sounds wild until you hear whistleblower John Whitberg's testimony, where he allegedly traveled to the enormous shafts and pillars under the Great Pyramid as a child, where he found an ancient ET underground dwelling there, which contained a portal that led to an abandoned planet that had a culture similar to that of the ancient Egyptians. He claims that this planet is the true origin of the unique Egyptian culture. Romanian intelligence unit Radu Cinemar in Transylvanian Sunrise also describes these stargates and how they serve as entrances to the inner earth, which houses an advanced telepathic civilization that utilizes free energy as well as advanced anti-gravity technology preserved from Atlantis. U.S. Navy whistleblower Daryl James further corroborates these claims, stating that all of the wars in the Middle East are actually due to the large number of stargates in those areas. And Montauk whistleblower Stuart Swerdlow also independently stated that the Iraq war was actually due to attempts to gain control of the stargates in Baghdad before an invading Anunnaki race can seize them. Follow me for more hidden knowledge.
Crazy.
Let's first have a room tour.
Oh, okay, I can see that. The glass is very stable there. So what's happening?
Switzerland is the head of the snake. This is the home of the World Economical Forum, CERN, Freemason lodges, and Rosicrucian influences. The second largest UN center after New York, UNESCO site with ancient knowledge, hosts WHO, UNHCR, ILO, WIPO organizations, the Red Cross, World Health Organization, World Trade Organization, the Gothard Base Tunnel. Its strange opening ceremony full of occult symbolism has sparked speculation. Bergenstock Resort, an elite venue that holds secretive meetings, including Bilderberg, Glencore, a giant company linked to energy and mineral manipulation. Neutralist Swiss vaults and bunkers. Many are used by elites to store gold, art, data servers, and even DNA samples, famous for secrecy, offshore wealth storage, and being a safe haven for powerful global interests.
The Bible told us how to avoid disease, and science is just now catching up. Johns Hopkins recently discovered that whether or not a person is forgiving can actually determine if they will have heart problems, cancer, and other diseases or not. Do you guys ever see something and you're like, that's definitely in the Bible. I asked Haven to list verses about letting go of negative feelings and how it's good for us. Our thoughts and emotions are directly connected to our immune system, our nervous system, and whether or not we end up with a disease. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. It will be health to your flesh and strength to your bones. Envy can cause inflammation that leads to bone loss. Proverbs 14, a sound heart is life to the body, but envy is rottenness to the bones. And there's been plenty of studies that prove that praying is actually healthy for our hearts. Ephesians 3 literally says this. Over and over, we see happiness brings health, while negative emotions invite in Satan and cause disease. This is why I have faith in the Bible through and through. Every word of it is the truth, and science is sprinting to catch up to his word. The Bible told us how to avoid disease.
In that moment, I thought, oh, everything's peaceful now. Like, I'm with God. Like, I'm chill. I was going bold. Media's hating, whatever. And then October 2021, I get offered a multi-million-dollar deal from a label. And they said, we're going to make you the male Adele. You can't say God. You can't say Jesus. You can't talk about Trump. You can't post. We're going to take over your social media. We're going to write 2 albums for you. It's going to be a 3-year contract. And I was going to do it. And I was like, okay, this is from God. Oh my God, I'm good now. Like, God's blessing me, yay. Like, you know, and I'm sitting with my friend and he said, if you sign that, you're selling your soul. And I said, why? I'm not doing rituals anymore. I'm not doing, and he was like a heavy Christian, and I was just learning about like Jesus, so I didn't know much about, you know, anything yet. But he said, what profits a man to gain the world and lose his soul? You're willing to take that money and not talk about anything you experienced and just basically shut up? This is a silencing contract. This isn't a record deal.
It's a censorship contract.
Yeah. And I
Anger is the thing that people must watch out for because it is a hypnotic emotion and sets the stage for obsession and possession.
So you're suggesting we could go through life without anger?
I go through life without being resentful, and I learn to forgive, which means to be patient. Nobody can get to me, but I can get to everybody else. I don't believe that. I can get to this joker here easy.
I don't believe that. Okay,
he
Scott.
believes in being angry. He believes in being angry, so I can upset
being angry.
Scott, please make your point.
Anger is a real emotion. Real, whatever
You don't
that
say.
is. Absolutely.
Do you think it's clever?
All right, Roy, may he finish, please. Yes.
I want to
Scott.
know how you got to be so perfect, and
That's
you
an
are a
insult.
great manipulator.
But how did you get to be so imperfect?
I think that's the way it is.
You see, there's 2 ways. You see,
I'm proud of being imperfect.
Listen, I know you are. Everybody who's wrong is proud of his wrong. See, because you can't get out of it, you get into it deeply. That's what pridefulness
I think people are very adept at getting out of things that aren't working for them.
How do people get destroyed in this life is that there are manipulators in this world, the dark side of this society. You see, society is going down the drain.
No, it isn't.
And those who want to control you,
no different
listen, the people who control you get to control you by intimidation. There's a book called Winning Through Intimidation. And if you can make people resentful or angry, you can get inside their brain and you can put your will inside their mind, and they will think they're acting out their own lives. And it takes years and years and years before many of us discover, having made many mistakes, that we're not living our own lives. And worst of all, if you carry this to its ultimate conclusion, you will not only be obsessed, you could become the person you hate. You could.
Let's start a clean slate here. Let's start a clean slate, and let's let you write the scenario here. A baby's born today in Boston. What do you do with that baby to make everything perfect? How would you write the scenario? Be brief, please.
Well, what you have to learn to do is not to motivate or pressure or be cruel or be hypocritical, to pretend to be a Christian but be a devil.
All of
not
that
to
is
upset
impossible.
Well,
That's impossible.
I don't know. I've done it.
Where do I start with this child then? Do I teach it the alphabet? Do I teach it how to drink milk? What do I do?
You equate teaching with teaching children to grow up like sea lions. If you motivate them and teach them how to function through motivation, you're actually becoming their will and displacing their own integrity. And that's the problem of our society. The schools motivate kids, the church pressure children, and they take an identity from that pressure, but they lose the one they were born with.
The Simpsons already predicted about the war between Israel and Iran. It all starts when the Simpsons land in Iran. They're there for a school project Lisa is working on, but things feel tense. Military trucks everywhere. On the TV, breaking news shows Israel launching surprise missiles. Benjamin Netanyahu appears, saying Israel must act first. Iran responds fast, with full force. The war becomes huge. Iran sends rockets deep into Israeli cities. Israel fires back with powerful airstrikes. Buildings collapse in Israel. Fires light up the sky for days in both countries. Civilians run from both countries. Streets are filled with fear, rubble, and smoke. Thousands lose their homes. Hospitals run out of supplies. Families are torn apart. Schools are destroyed. People hide in bunkers, praying for peace. News channels around the world show non-stop terror. What do you think of this prediction of Simpsons? Tell in comments.
I'm a Christian girly, but I'm not celibate. I have never been celibate.
And
I
you're
will
okay
never be
saying that.
celibate. Celibacy is for priests
Priest?
and nuns.
Fame can only save the celebrities for so long. That fame is a cage, you guys. Like, it's a prison. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm a conspiracy theorist and this is what I have found out through research. It's like, no, I've lived in this vessel for a while. That's why my position is respected. I've earned my respect out here. I didn't just have to demand it from people. I've earned my respect. You know, and I want you guys to do the same thing in your communities. Just doesn't mean going out being degrading to anybody, being demeaning. Use me as an example. You know, use me as an example. I'm not perfect. Again, I will always tell you guys I'm imperfect as it comes. I'm figuring it out as I go, but this is part of my purpose. You know, I've been wanting to do this since I was a kid. Just teach, learn, engage with people in a bigger way instead of being boxed up like a fucking celebrity that doesn't have a life, a real life. Think about how many celebrities don't have real lives, bro. They're run by their team management. They're run by their agents. They are run by, you know what I mean, people that barely know. They are literally being run like a fucking robot. They like you have nothing else to offer except what you do for a living. Like, you know, I'm not mad at it. I'm not angry. I don't get mad. I'm not disappointed. I don't. You know what I mean? I just know I accept this role as me being who I am, and that's it.
Y'all better check on your husbands if they come back from the job site looking like this. There were no more Hispanic workers on his job site, so they called him in, and now he looking like he's allergic to the sun. He is so stunned, both him and his wife are speechless. Y'all, that sun is not playing out there. Look at this guy over here. You think the sun is playing out in Mexico as well? Look at this. He created a whole shade hat with cardboard because his little bucket hat was not doing the job. And that's not all, y'all. The sun has been so bad, this company had to hire extra men to hold up this tarp on this roof so they can nail in the shingles in peace. The sun is out here playing no games. It is putting out God level radiation, man. Look at this. This man got a whole snowsuit on, y'all. Look at this. What? How do you guys feel about snow gear in 100-degree weather? Would you do it? Could you? And just to let you know, people are still seeing the two suns around the planet. Check this out, y'all.
Alright, you guys have to see this. Okay? Watch.
Check this out. Here's one. Here's two. Oh, there's a third one. Look. There's a third one. Look, it's faint. Y'all see that? 3 of them. They told us in the end times, y'all, that there will be signs in the skies. Y'all see it every single day, y'all. Multiple of them. If you ain't feeling this shift, it only means you ain't tuned in. And by the look of these comments, it look like everybody is feeling it, whether it be for the good or for the bad. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace out.
Mariah, is it true you don't acknowledge the passing of time?
That is true.
What do you mean by that?
I just don't believe in it.
What? Do you mean time zones? Or
No, just time.
Just time. Time, so no clocks?
No.
No, just not into that?
Yeah, I don't, let it go.
Do you celebrate your birthday?
I don't have a birthday, no.
Anniversaries?
Anniversaries, yes.
Okay, great, but no
So
birthdays?
But if we were to meet up later, how would we know when? It would just happen.
On Mariah's time.
Oh,
Yeah, I would have somebody call you and figure it out.
That's fantastic. That's absolutely brilliant.
Cinemas or movie theatres are all sacred geometrically set up to harvest energy from the people.
Okay, I thought
so when you have
harvesting
a
energy.
horror movie or some of the extreme nasty movies that have been coming out over the last like 15-20 years, the people in there, when people shock like that, the movie theatres are set up perfectly sacred geometrically to then harvest the energy straight from the people in there, in the same principle as any mass gathering.
Y'all, we have something to tell y'all. We're not the real us.
What? How true is that? Okay.
Stop glitching.
Truth disguised as a joke. Yeah, right.
We're not the real us. How?
What if I told you that every set that you do is bending reality to your favor? That the gym isn't just physical, it's metaphysical. Most people think that the gym is just about muscles and losing weight. But if you train with intention, breath, and presence, it becomes a portal, a sacred space where time slows down and you access what the mystics call theta state, the brainwave frequency where reality is most malleable. That's when your visualizations imprint deeper, your affirmations lock in, and your body becomes the transmitter of a new identity. Every rep isn't just breaking down muscle, it's breaking down the version of you that couldn't handle more. You're not just sweating, you're shape-shifting. And when you leave the gym, you're not the same. You carry a higher frequency, stronger body, a more clear mind, and an activated spirit. That's how you use the gym to alter timelines. And if you train like that consistently, reality has no other choice but to catch up. Follow me for more spiritual strength. This is bigger than fitness. It's alignment.
In fact, let me show you a video that's the jets, the pattern, and we'll explain this in a second. So here's Israel. The strike was led by F-35s and other types of aircraft.
But the differences in the landmass.
What they did was,
Crazy.
and I have to tell you, this is the right thing to do at first. Watch. They attacked this is IDF, you can see it's in Hebrew, this is IDF rendering. All of the nuclear facilities that are needed are all deep underground. And these storage facilities and laboratories are of, I hate this, I'm sorry to say it, but let's be honest. The building of all of this stuff is highly technical and it costs billions of dollars. Billions of dollars, which a guy by the name of Barack Obama shipped to Iran in cash in several C-17 Globemaster aircraft without congressional approval during his presidency. His name is Barack Hussein Obama, and he's responsible for paying for what you're looking at on these screens. This is not my idea. This is not my opinion. It is a crime against Congress, and it's a crime against the Constitution, but it is what it is. And that is a tragedy. Iran does not have the money to do what they've done in various locations. What they were doing now, why did Israel act now? Because they had accomplished in various locations. Imagine a puzzle. The parts have come together, and now we are going to assemble the parts on the tip of an ICBM rocket, and we're going to launch it into Europe and into probably the northern sections of North America. You say, why not Israel? They were never going to drop a nuclear bomb. Listen, you don't drop a nuclear bomb on Israel launching it from Iran. You want to know why? Because Israel is on the coast of the Mediterranean. The wind blows from the Mediterranean straight toward Iran.
talking.
They could destroy Israel with a nuclear bomb, but in a matter of hours, they're going to destroy themselves. Now, they may have a kamikaze complex. It may well be. But understand this. Everybody's, hooting and hollering about what in the world is Israel doing? Translation? Israel is certainly saving Europe from total destruction, and Israel is certainly protecting the United States and Canada by dealing with these parts, because they were just about to assemble them and send them up on an ICBM. And let's remember this also.
Okay,
a nuclear bomb
sense.
never exactly has to reach its target. In fact, the greatest fear in the United States is for a nuclear bomb to be detonated about 100 miles above in the atmosphere, just below space, at about 126,000 feet. If a nuclear bomb is detonated over the area of, say, Ohio, the entire region of the eastern seaboard in central United States, nobody dies. Nobody dies. You see a big flash in the sky, silent because it's in space. The shock wave from that nuclear explosion overhead is called an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse bomb. And it will take the United States and put it back 500 years. You'll have no electricity. You'll have no water. You'll have no capacity to function. And you have a slow, long, painful death. Can you imagine that? Israel has stopped this from happening. And the world wants to point fingers at Israel because the world is so ignorant of what's actually going on.
Okay, makes sense.
Today we're here to introduce Trump Mobile. We've partnered with some of the greatest people in the industry to make sure that real Americans can get true value from their mobile carriers. With Trump Mobile, we're going to be introducing an entire package of products that people can come, they can get telemedicine on their phone for one flat monthly fee, roadside assistance in their cars, unlimited texting to 100 countries around the world.
The fact that all your customer service will be done in America. It's going to be done in St. Louis, Missouri. I hope I was allowed to give that out. And making phones in America. It's about time we bring products back to our great country, and it's about time we disrupt this space.
If World War III were to start, this is exactly how it would look. The United States would join Israel immediately, followed by China joining Iran. The UK would also join Israel, followed by Russia joining Iran. France would also join Israel, no surprise. And then North Korea would follow Iran. Germany would also join Israel, followed by Belarus joining Iran. Japan would also join Israel, and Palestine would join Iran. South Korea would also join Israel, and Pakistan would join Iran, depending on what India does. Let's put a little asterisk next to Pakistan. Australia would also follow Israel, with Venezuela closing out, who would follow Iran. So now there's some wild cards, India being one of them, Saudi Arabia being another. The African nations and Latin America would also be wild cards in this. So you must be wondering, that means Iran has no chance because so many countries are joining Israel. Well, you're wrong, because of this reason. 5 out of the 6 biggest armies and military forces would potentially be joining Iran, which are Iran themselves, China, Russia, and potentially India. The United States has a massive military force. Comment down below how you think World War III would play out.
Women are only nice to you if you don't talk to them very much. Now, wisdom can come at any age. Some guys might learn this really quick in their 20s. Other guys, it might take them to their 30s or 40s. But you're not going to be able to outdo this one with looks, money, or status. Now, this is one thing that I want the young guys to hear. The young guys need to hear this. When you're young and you're naive to how the world works or to how the world operates or to even just, how humans work, how humans operate, how people behave, not only are you unaware of female nature, but to some degree you're completely unaware of human nature. And it's funny though, because when you're a young man, you think you know everything. At least I did. Right? When I was a young guy, I thought I knew everything. Oh no, you couldn't tell me nothing. It was my way or the highway. I'm doing it this way. When it comes to work, when it comes to business, when it comes to life, when it comes to how to handle a situation, I'm doing it this way. And even if I'm completely wrong, I had 100 different reasons why that way is the right way for me. That was my mindset. When you're a young man and you're naive to human nature, you are naive to female nature. See, you think you can outdo this one through charm, through riz. You think you can outdo this one through a better physique, a better body. You think you can outdo this one line that I just gave you, right? Women are only nice to you if you don't talk to them very much. You think you can outdo this one through something like looks, money, or status.
In a 24-hour period, everything in your life will change. Everything that you know as stability in this earth will change within a 24-hour period. For there were many of you that did not know whenever COVID was coming. Many of you did not hear it. And many of you did not hear when 9/11 was coming. But you need to have your ears to heaven, listening to what's coming. There were many that were caught off guard. But those events changed everything in a 24-hour period. It changed the way our government has moved since. COVID changed everything. But it didn't just change America, it changed the world and how we operate and how we do things.
Makes sense.
It's still not true. 9/11 changed how we fly, how we do all that stuff. If everybody remembers in 2001, September the 11th, it changed everything. Homeland Security, all that. Look at what happened out of that. Just know that the Lord has spoken to me, and He has spoken to me very sternly. And He said, there'll be events that He's not going to yell about anymore, that are coming. A great shaking to awaken. And He said to me, Brandon, I've yelled and I've yelled and I've yelled for my people to wake up. And now they will wake up for what's about to take place.
Have y'all seen videos of this guy? This guy, he walks around LA, supposedly. People catch him in different places. He just walks around, he just watches. And he has this thing on his head. I thought it was, when I first saw him, I thought he was an alien. But people catch him on video walking around LA all over the place, and he just watches. Well, I've been watching. I've been watching his videos. And you see that book? He's always carrying that book, like I said. I put that image in the Google Lens. You know what it came up to be? Naturom Demonto, Necronomicon. Now, I don't know enough about this Evil Dead book, but I'm going to find out. But what I need is anybody from LA who knows any more about him. And all the videos I've seen, I've only seen him speak to one person. He was a homeless guy at a bench, and he spoke to him briefly, and then he just kept on going. But he's just always walking like this with that book, and I'm going to find out what that is.
People think Starbucks is a coffee shop, but it's really a bank. I've been studying some of the smartest business models, and what Starbucks is doing is wild. They have one of the craziest systems, and most people don't even see it. Every day, millions of customers preload money onto the Starbucks app or gift cards, and that money sits in a Starbucks account before they pour a single cup of coffee. They hold over $1 billion in prepaid customer balances, and that's basically an interest-free loan from the customers to them. But here's the wildest part. That money isn't FDIC insured like a real bank account. Yet they earn interest on it. They even partner with financial institutions and offer credit cards. So you got to ask yourself, is Starbucks a coffee shop or is it a financial institution in disguise? And there's 3 lessons you could take away from this. Number 1, prepaid systems are king. Number 2, customer habits can fund your growth. And number 3 is build a business that attracts capital without asking for it. The most powerful brands don't need investors. Their customers become their funding source.
Okay. You don't stand a chance with this bear in this case.
Damn! That motherfucker vicious as hell! I heard this is a bear with rabies, gang. Pray to God I never get caught in the forest with a bear with fucking rabies! You fucking monster! I ain't gonna lie, this might be the closest thing we gonna have to a werewolf. So, ladies, y'all still picking a fucking bear? That motherfucker gonna gnaw every part of your body off. You still picking the fucking bear? That motherfucker vicious as hell. You still picking the fucking bear? Just asking. Just asking. Don't come at me. Oh shit, that motherfucker was ready. You see how hard that bitch trying to get out that cage? That motherfucker ready for war. Matter of fact, the next war we have, let's inject a bunch of bears with rabies and unleash them bitches on the battlefield. I bet we win that motherfucker lickety split. I bet we do.
Ducks are evil, and I knew it. Since a kid, I hated ducks, and everybody told me I was crazy. These things, predators. This last video was about dolphins, and everybody was like, "Oh, so ocean life. That's why I'm not going in the ocean. Don't go in lakes either. Let's talk about ducks." They are predators. They are scary. They're terrifying. Why is it that all of these animals that I'm covering are like sexually aggressive? Sexually aggressive does not even like compare to what I'm about to tell you. So I found out that ducks, not only do they gang up to R-word female ducks, that's normal apparently, apparently everything just gangs up in R-words female, but they gang up in R-word females, but not only do they R-word them, they also have to beat them senseless, and they have to brutalize them. Like, actually, I saw a picture of a female duck that was gang R-worded by some ducks, and her whole left or right eye socket was torn out, guys. Not only that. Okay, not only that. Did you guys know that female ducks are so, like, their bodies are so used to being forcibly taken, if you know what I mean, that they have evolved to have inner vaginal cavities. I'm trying not to get this video taken down. Their bodies have evolved to have in there become a maze. Okay? A maze so that they cannot be impregnated by the males, the aggressive males. But then the male ducks' nether regions evolve to be longer so that it could penetrate the maze. And then if the female duck tries to run, they use their nether regions that is extremely long. I forgot what duck it is. I saw another creator cover this. He said that the ducks down there parts was 17 feet long. They use it to lasso the female duck. Lasso her. Yeah. And then bring her back to them so that she can, be used. I guess I'm just like a little confused because it seems like there's nowhere that's safe for anything female. Not even in the animal kingdom. Yeah, guys.
That's so crazy to say.
My day was ruined, so yours also has to be. As always, make sure you like, follow, and comment down below what other freaky, scary animals we should cover on this page.
So what type of perks come with being in the Illuminati?
Free applesauce.
I love applesauce.
Chicken wings.
Wow.
But I haven't seen any lizard guys in suits.
That's good.
No, Scarlett, it sucks. What? I want to do goat sacrifices because that's actually pretty spooky.
Oh, wow.
Also, I'd love to give a shout out to Satan.
Do you indulge in any form of worship?
All the time.
So tell me about that.
I give my demons free cheese.
That's unusual, but I appreciate that.
And we've come to the end of today's video. The last video was crazy. Maybe it's the truth in plain sight, like a truth with a joke. But then this is crazy. But then we've come to the end. Don't forget to subscribe and also share the link. I'll catch you again in my next video. Bye.